Upon entering the morgue to see the corpse of a beautiful actress, a group of friends decide to be the last ones to have their way with her, not caring about what may happen next. The movie begins with a nurse pushing a stretcher with a covered body while voices of journalists can be heard in the background announcing that a few hours ago the famous actress Fritz was found dead in her hotel room. The nurse uncovers the body to see the actress's face and without hesitation, takes a photo of her with his phone. Then we meet two guys named Ivan and Javi who arrive at the hospital looking for their best friend named Pau, who is the nurse from earlier. They invite Pau to a party, but he turns it down because he still has work to do. However, he agrees to go out for a bit to have a drink and get high. While drinking, they start talking about the actress's naked body because they're curious to see it. Pau, who has already seen it, tells them that her body will be in the hospital morgue until the next day. Hearing this, Ivan gets excited and decides to go see her. Javi doesn't want to go, but he follows them to the morgue anyway. Once there, he tries to leave, but Pau convinces him to stay, assuring him there's no risk of getting caught. Javi admits he's scared since he's never seen a dead body before, but Pau reassures him that corpses aren't that scary. As a prank, Pau pulls back a sheet to reveal another person's body. After this joke, he leads them to the actress's actual body. When they see her, they're all stunned because she doesn't look dead. Pau explains that it's normal since she died only a few hours ago. Ivan uncovers the rest of her body and starts touching it without hesitation. He then convinces Javi to do the same, saying they probably won't get another chance to touch the breasts of a famous actress. After uncovering her entire body, they are all fascinated by the actress's incredible physique. Ivan wonders what it would be like to sleep with a dead woman, and Pau tells him it feels the same as with a living one. He knows this because he once slept with another beautiful girl's body. Ivan criticizes Pau for already having done it with some random girl's corpse and not even trying to do it with the body of a famous actress. He then suggests to his friends that they take advantage of this moment. At first, Javi thinks he's joking, but soon realizes Ivan is serious. Javi tries to convince him to go to the party where he can be with any living woman, but Ivan refuses, saying none of them will be Fritz. Determined, he tells his friends he's gonna do it, arguing that it won't hurt anyone anyway. The other two friends head to another room to give him some privacy. They think it's all a bad joke, but when they look back at the stretcher, they see that Ivan is actually doing it. After finishing, Ivan comments that he enjoyed it a lot, and upon hearing this, Pau also decides to do it. Ivan keeps pushing for his friend to try it too, saying he just needs to think of her as a drunk girl, but Javi flatly refuses and gets angry with both of them. Pau approaches Fritz to caress and kiss her before climbing on top of her, and while he's enjoying the moment, the girl's corpse opens her eyes. It takes Pau over a minute to notice, and when he does, he starts screaming in terror. His friends rush over to ask why he's screaming, and Pau tells them that Anna is alive. They're all stunned as they approach her and confirm that she really is alive. Ivan asks Anna if she remembers how long she's been awake, but she doesn't say anything. Javi tries to calm her down, while Pau tells Ivan that she saw him sleeping with her. Suddenly, someone approaches the room. The three friends hide just in time to avoid being discovered by a nurse bringing another body to the morgue. Anna starts to cry and tries to speak to ask for help, but she doesn't seem to have the strength, so the nurse leaves without noticing anything. After this, Javi tries to calm her down and meets with his two friends to convince them to do the right thing and inform her family that Anna is alive, but his friends refuse. Ivan is sure that the girl will report them, and they'll end up in jail. Despite this, Javi insists on doing the right thing. Ivan suggests killing her since her family and society already think she's dead, but Javi refuses to do it. Because of this, they start arguing while Anna, frightened, listens to their plan to kill her and begs them through tears not to hurt her. Javi tries to leave to tell everyone that the girl is alive, but the door is locked, and no one has the key. After getting locked in, the tension rises, and they start fighting. Ivan loses control and hits Javi until he passes out. When Pau stops him, they realize Javi is starting to bleed from his head. They try to stop the bleeding but can't control it, so Pau takes out his phone to call for help, but Ivan stops him. Ivan decides to hide both Javi and Anna in another room, so when someone comes to unlock the door, they won't see that they have a kidnapped woman and a half-dead man in there. In the other room, Ivan tries to wake up his injured friend and tells him that soon he'll be left outside the hospital. Someone will find him, and he'll have to make up a story that someone hit him on the head to steal his wallet. Then they hurry to clean the blood off the floor before the nurse who will unlock the door arrives. In the other room, Anna realizes Javi is about to die and warns them to do something. Ivan tries to keep him awake, and suddenly the nurse they called shows up. Pau goes out to distract him while Ivan stays hidden and covers Anna's mouth to keep her quiet. When the other nurse leaves, Ivan gets ready to take his friend out, but his friend doesn't respond. He tries to revive him, but it's too late. When Pau returns, he finds out his friend is dead and breaks down in tears. He also panics at the thought of probably ending up in prison for life. Ivan is not willing to accept that fate and decides to get rid of the body. He scares Pau into helping him by saying he'll be seen as an accomplice to murder and that everyone will find out what he does with women's corpses. Meanwhile, Anna, taking advantage of being alone, jumps off the stretcher and with the little strength she has left, reaches Javi's phone. When they get back to the room, they find her on the phone. Ivan grabs it from her, but it's too late. Anna already told her father she was alive, so it's only a matter of time before they come for her. Faced with this, they have no choice but to let her go. Unfortunately for her, while walking down the hallway, the phone rings. When Ivan answers, he finds out Anna had tricked them because she hadn't managed to talk to anyone. Her father was just returning the call to ask why they had called a few minutes ago. Furious, Ivan decides to take her back to the morgue. He then goes to find a trash container to put his friend's body in, while Pau stays there to tie Anna's hands and feet. Left alone, Anna tries to convince him to let her go, promising not to report him since, unlike his friend, he hadn't killed anyone. Unfortunately, she doesn't manage to persuade him. Meanwhile, Ivan leaves the hospital, and as bad luck would have it, 2 nurses start smoking next to the containers, so he has no choice but to wait for them to leave. In the morgue, Anna takes advantage of Pau being distracted by cleaning Javi's blood to free herself and try to escape. Since her legs still don't respond, she decides to crawl on the floor. On the other hand, after the nurses move away from the containers, Ivan manages to grab one and quickly returns to the hospital. Back in the morgue, he realizes Anna has escaped and alerts Pau to search for her together. Meanwhile, Anna continues crawling until she finds an exit. As she moves down the hallway, she encounters Ivan, but fortunately, he doesn't see her, so she takes the chance to hide in another room. She then tries to stand up to escape faster, but her legs still don't respond, so she keeps crawling. A few minutes later, she reaches an elevator, but just as the doors are about to close, Ivan appears and drags her back to the morgue. Then he meets with Pau and says they need to finish her off once and for all, but Pau is still hesitant because, deep down, he doesn't want to be a murderer. He also accuses him of strangling Javi while he was distracting the nurse, saying Anna told him. Ivan denies it, arguing that she's just lying to turn them against each other. They decide the best way to kill her is to suffocate her with a sheet. Ivan gets one and hands it to Pau to do it. This leads to a brief argument about who should do it, ending with the decision to do it together. In a few seconds, Anna falls unconscious. Wasting no time, they put her on the stretcher and then place Javi's body in the trash container. Ivan takes the container to the street and dumps the body halfway, while Pau starts cleaning Anna's body to remove all evidence. After finishing, he covers her with a sheet again to make it look like before. Just as he's about to leave, he hears her cough. Realizing she's still alive, he approaches her and begs her to pretend to be dead so his friend won't kill her. Once Ivan checks that everything is in order, Pau turns off the light, and they leave together. Just before getting into the elevator, Ivan realizes he's lost his card, so he decides to return to the morgue to retrieve it. When he gets there, he becomes furious with Pau after discovering that Anna is still alive. He starts strangling his friend for betraying him and then begins kicking him on the floor. Anna appears behind him and kills him by stabbing him in the neck with scissors. Pau complains to her, saying it wasn't necessary to kill him, but Anna, without saying a word, stabs him too, getting revenge for what he did to her before, and with this bloody scene, the movie ends. Don't miss out on future recaps, subscribe, leave a like and comment if you have already seen this movie. Thanks for watching.